Hello, you're kicking off the Tuesday's edition of Qpvn English News Bulletin with Milichi and the headlines. 10th session of 15th National Assembly opens. Defense cooperation between Vietnam and Belarus successfully implemented. Strategies for a sustainable future. On October the 20th, under the chairmanship of National Assembly Chairman Chen Thanh-Minh, the 10th session of the 15th National Assembly opened in Hanoi. Attending the event were Party General Secretary Tô Lâm, President Lương Cường, and Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính, along with leaders and former leaders of the party and state, the Central Committee of the Vietnam Fatherland Front, militaries and central local agencies, and its national guests. General Phan Van Giang, Minister of National Defense, also attended the event. In his opening remarks, National Assembly Chairman Chen Thanh-Minh stressed that this session not only concludes the current term, but also marks the start of the new development stage. Scheduled for about 45 days, the National Assembly will review and adopt 53 bills and resolutions covering major areas such as land, investment, planning, construction, environment, energy, and measures to strengthen the corporate bonds and real estate markets. This represents the largest legislative workload in National Assembly history, demonstrating the principle that laws must lead the way, paving the path for innovation and placing people's interests at the core of policy making. The National Assembly will also discuss the draft report on the work of the 15th term, review and decide on the 2026 Socio-Economic Development Plan, state budget estimates, central budget allocation, the 2026 Public Investment Plan, the 5-year National Financial Plan, and the 2026-2030 medium-term public investment plan. The deputies will further contribute opinions to the draft documents to be submitted to the 14th National Party Congress. Presenting the report on the results of the 2025 and 2021-2026 Socio-Economic Development Plans and the proposed 2026 plan, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính noted that despite global and domestic challenges, Vietnam has met or exceeded 22 out of 26 key socio-economic targets, including all social and welfare indicators. For 2026, the Prime Minister affirms that Vietnam will prioritize promoting growth, maintaining macroeconomic stability, controlling inflation, and ensuring overall economic balance. On the morning of October the 20th, General Phan Van Giang, Minister of National Defense, received Major General Pavel Muravyko, Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces and First Deputy Minister of Defense of Belarus. General Phan Van Giang stressed that the Vietnam-Belarus defense cooperation has been effectively implemented in line with the overall international friendship and multifaceted cooperation between the two countries and signed international treaties and agreements. He also expressed satisfaction with the results of the previous talks between the Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces and First Deputy Minister of Defense of Belarus, and General Nguyễn Tân Cương, Chief of the General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army and Deputy Defense Minister. He hoped that the results of the talks would soon be concretized in the coming time. For his part, Major General Muravyko hoped that General Phan Van Giang would continue to pay attention to the development of defense cooperation between the two countries and affirmed that Belarus is ready to promote cooperation in potential fields based on the needs of its side. Earlier at the headquarters of the Ministry of National Defense, General Nguyễn Tân Cương, Chief of the General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army and Deputy Defense Minister, hosted an official welcome ceremony and held talks for Major General Pavel Muravyko, Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces and First Deputy Minister of Defense of the Republic of Belarus. The two sides exchanged views on regional and global situations and issues of mutual concern. General Nguyễn Tân Cương affirmed that ASEAN plays a key role in shaping the regional structure through ASEAN-led mechanisms. Vietnam supports and works with member states to strengthen ASEAN's centrality, enhance unity, narrow differences, and promote practical cooperation with partners. Regarding the South China Sea, also known as the EC, Vietnam consistently resolves disputes peacefully in line with international law, including the 1982 UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, effectively implements the Declaration on the Conduct of Parties, and strives to soon conclude a substantive, effective code of conduct. Vietnam pursues an independent, self-reliant, peaceful, and cooperative foreign policy, is a reliable partner and responsible member of the international community, and steadfastly implements the foremost defense policy for shared interests, stability, and prosperity in the region and beyond. Major General Qpvn affirms that Belarus stands ready to cooperate with Vietnam and other friendly countries for peace and stability. Both sides agreed to enhance defense cooperation through irregular delegation exchanges and high-level contacts, effective implementation of side agreements, stronger collaboration between arms and services, training and military sports cooperation, mutual participation in defense exhibitions, and exploration of potential areas such as military science and medicine. Earlier in the morning, the Belarusian delegation paid tribute to President Ho Chi Minh at his mausoleum and laid wreaths at the monument to heroic martyrs on Boxing Street. On the afternoon, Major General Qpvn and his delegation visited and worked with the Vietnam Military Industry and Telecoms Group, the Air Defense Air Force Service, and the Vietnam Military History Museum. On October the 20th, the Army Broadcasting Center organized an art program titled Half a Century on Air to celebrate the 50th founding anniversary of the People's Army Television Center. General Trịnh Văn Quyết, chairman of the General Political Department of the Vietnam People's Army, addressed the event. Addressing the event, General Trịnh Văn Quyết praised the important contributions of generations of staff and journalists of the People's Army Television over the past 50 years. All of the programs have been constantly innovated, deeply reflecting the life, combat, starting, and working of officers and soldiers in the home military, contributing to spreading the image of uncle soldiers in the hearts of the people. He stressed that in the context of strong media development, the Army Broadcasting Center should continue to innovate content, master modern technology, and be worthy of being the main and trusted press agency of the Central Military Commission and Ministry of National Defense. On the occasion of the 95th anniversary of the Vietnam Women's Union, Vietnamese peacekeeping forces of the missions of UNMISS South Sudan and UNESCO ABA organized meaningful activities honoring the image of the Vietnamese women on their noble international mission. At UNMISS, the Women's Union of the Level 2 Field Hospital Rotation 7 held a cultural exchange and a seminar titled Mental Health Care for Women. The event provided a chance for female peacekeepers to record the proud traditions of the Vietnamese women, share experience, and strengthen mental resilience while serving far from home. Culture and culinary performances showcased the resilience, kindness, and compassion of the Vietnamese women. Meanwhile, at UNESCO, the Engineering Company Rotation 4 held a celebration rich in Vietnamese cultural identity. Female Blue Berets prepared flowers, cakes, and traditional outside, creating a warm, heartfelt atmosphere in the heart of Africa. The team's Women's Union chapter also presented essential supplies to local students and clean water to residents, further spreading the image of the soldiers of Angkor as compassionate and responsible peace ambassadors. Recently, the Vietnamese community in Brussels and international friends celebrated the 95th anniversary of the Vietnam Women's Union with the theme Autumn of Peace. The event was organized by the Vietnamese Women's Association under the General Union of Vietnamese in Belgium and the Vietnamese Outside Heritage Club. The highlight of the event was the outside performance with the theme Shadow of the Capital. Each outside piece tells a story about Vietnamese culture, from the simplicity of tứ thân dress to the elegance of Nhật Bình costume of the Nguyen dynasty. A folk cooking contest was also held within the event, expressing love of food and natural pride. Autumn of Peace is not only the name of the ceremony, but also a message of love, solidarity, and natural pride. In the heart of Europe, the image of Vietnamese women still shines, gentle yet resilient, simple yet enduring. Coming up next, 30 days for a sustainable future. Efforts made to preserve Hội An in the Zero Age. The General Statistics Office under the Ministry of Finance on October the 20th held a ceremony to mark the World Statistics Day 2025. The event was connected to 34 provinces' statistics offices in the country. The theme of this year's World Statistics Day is Empowering Change with Quality Data and Statistics for All. That highlights the message that data is not just numbers but powerful tools that drive transformation, enabling governments and the international community to assess realities accurately and design more effective policies. At the high-level forum themed Statistics for a Sustainable Future in the D0 Area, Vietnam's SDG monitoring journey, domestic and international experts shared insights on the vital role of data in implementing the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. The key principle is leaving no one behind. Disaggregated data by gender, age, and ethnicity allow us to better identify inequalities and assess whether current policies overlook any population groups. Our top priority is to strengthen institutional system to harness data resources for all ministries and localities. We will also enhance training to improve human resource quality, promote D0 applications, adopt advanced methodologies, and raise public awareness while calling for support from international partners to shape sustainable and prosperous development. Modern statistics not only serve state management but also act as a common language connecting economic, social, and environmental sectors. Building a transparent, digitalized, and internationally standardized national statistical system is essential for Vietnam to achieve its Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. On this occasion, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính sent a congratulatory letter marking the World Statistics Day, praising the unsung yet vital contributions of statisticians, those who transform numbers into knowledge to develop the country. On October the 20th, Ho Chi Minh City People's Committee had an inspection and working session on the organization and implementation of a number of tasks and solutions to combat illegal high-yield fishing in the city's coastal areas. The city has been maintaining around-the-clock monitoring of fishing vessels to promptly detect and handle any cases of lost signal or boundary violations. Thanks to intensified communication efforts and stricter inspections, since the beginning of 2025, Ho Chi Minh City has not recorded any cases of local fishing boats being detained by foreign authorities. Localities have proposed that the city's People's Committee soon carry out dredging projects at estuary channels, helping fishing vessels travel more smoothly, while also starting funding sources to support fishermen in shipping to new livelihoods. The Vice Chairman of the Ho Chi Minh City People's Committee asked the Agriculture and Environment Department, the board guard force, and local authorities to stay highly focused and determined in implementing measures aimed at removing the EC's yellow card warning. After meeting with fishermen, we found that most of them have no intention of violating laws in overlapping sea areas. However, inadequate radio communication infrastructure has led to connection interruptions. In addition, limited support policies for career transition have prevented some fishermen from moving ashore. The city is finalizing mechanisms and policies to help fishermen feel secure while sailing the sea and support those who wish to shift to new occupations and settle on land. Earlier, Vice Chairman of Ho Chi Minh City People's Committee and a working delegation conducted on-site inspections and met with fishermen at Cát Lở Fishing Port in Phước Thắng Quận and Ecomap Fishing Port in Vũng Tàu Quận. On October the 20th, in Hội An Quận, Da Nang People's Committee held a conference reviewing the master plan for preserving, restoring, and promoting the values of the Hội An Ancient Town World Cultural Heritage for the 2012-2025 period, with over 200 domestic and international attendees. After more than a decade, with many relics being successfully restored, Hội An has reaffirmed its position as one of Vietnam's and the world's leading tourist destination. The conference focused on management models, financial mechanisms, and the balance between preservation, tourism, and urban development. Experts' opinions will serve as a foundation for Da Nang to propose a new plan towards sustainable preservation of Hội An ancient town in the D0 area. It is the end of the English news bulletin today. You watch the news again at QPVN.vn. Goodbye and see you next time.